Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon, and this is the Supernatural.Show, the show that is not intended for entertainment purposes. Well, you might get a little bit of entertainment value, but this is a show of truth, is what this is. And it looks like Miss Kim is rebooting her room for some reason, but we'll add her back here in just a minute. Anyways, we've got a little group here together today. Shannon's unavailable to be here with us unless she happens to show up partway through or something. But we do have Roxy, our Supernatural co-host, one of two that are here with us today. Hey Roxy, how are you doing, darling?
Hey. I'm fantastic, enjoying the sunshine today. How are you?
Doing good. And
I'm just
we also
tickled
have
pink that we got chat working.
Yeah, we're going to show that here in a minute. We actually have Beyond the Veil chat, a version. Whether we'll end up staying with that version is to be seen. But we do have a version of chat working on Beyond the Veil now, which I'll show here in just a moment. But as soon as I get done with introductions, and then we're going to jump into some more talk about September 23rd and the possibilities of what could be going on over the next day or two. Okay, because we're looking at a window, like a 3-day window, basically, of the Feast of Trumpets. Okay, so it's not just the 23rd is the most interesting. It starts on the 22nd, which is today, the beginning of the Feast of Trumpets, and then going into tomorrow and Wednesday as well. So, yeah, and there's a lot of new information that we're going to go over today in reference to the 23rd of September. And no, we're not going to tell you the sky is falling. And no, we're not going to tell you that there's going to be a rapture tomorrow. I mean, the thought of us standing here talking about it and saying there's going to be a rapture tomorrow, and then tomorrow come along, the possibility of us knowing this ahead of time would be no possibility. Okay, so looks like Miss Kim got her thing straightened out. Good. I didn't have to do nothing. She got it figured out. Nice. And but Miss Kim is here with us today, as y'all guys can see. She's in the background helping me out with moderation and learning how to be a co-director. And one step at a time with that as well. Get used to doing certain things, add another little piece, get used to that, and then add another little piece. Kind of like how we've built this entire show, really. And we also have Super Dave and Super Mike here with us. Not positive. No, Super Dave was live for a little while there. He may be still live. So there's a possibility he's still live at the moment. But I would imagine he'll stop in here in a little bit. And Mike Smith or Super Mike would probably be in here. And I see, let's see, who do I see? CSE Drivers. Well, you got the frown face, buddy. I see.
You've been frowning since he got here.
Oh, that's no good.
We got Captain Howdy.
Yeah, turn that frown upside down. That's what they used to say. Desktop Geek is here with us as well. And we have Robin Clark. Good to see you, Robin, here with us as well. Robin says she tried the Beyond the Veil website, but I couldn't figure out how to go from chat back to the show without losing you. It should be, well, it may be that you're on the, a mobile. If you're on a phone, I haven't tested it yet on a phone. So, but just know, Robin, we will work those issues out. And I see Shannon S. in the house. Hey, Shannon, how are you, darling? And I see Joseph Emmons, Ashley Stiles, Captain Howdy. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
And Mama Rages is here.
Mama Rages
Jeff
is here
Snyder.
a lot.
Mama Rages is always with us.
Right. Enoch 777 is here. And and more people. Jeff Snyder too is here. Jeff Snyder, good to see you, Jeff. I hope things are going well with you. And I wonder sometimes if you're still, if you're the Jeff the Snyder, I think you are, if you're still driving truck and checking out plasma fires on the side of the roads and stuff like you were doing there for a while. That was very compelling information that you were
And just so you
sharing and
know,
showing.
CSE driver turned his frown upside down.
Oh, he did. I see that. Nice.
Yeah, he
CSE
did. He turned it
drivers is
upside
now,
down.
he did turn it upside down. That's kind of like smiling now. Yeah, Robin says, yep, she's on a mobile. So we'll get the kinks worked out. But the way I want it is where you can just be watching the video and right down below it, type in a chat message, you know. And
Just like
so
this.
we'll get that worked out. I promise you, Robin. Just bear with me because my technical department consists of pretty much me and Roxy. But I'm the one that has to do all the, you might say, implementing on my side for the most part. Although
I come
maybe
up with
one
grand
day,
ideas. He plugs them in.
yeah, there you go. She's the one that found that chat thing we're using for now. I see Jamie Barham in the house and from Oklahoma. Very nice. Oklahoma. I love seeing visitors from all over the world that are watching the live show. And again, today,
we
guys,
do
we're
have
going to
some
get
from
it.
across the pond.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have. I've seen them in here from literally all over the world. The only place I've never seen anybody comment from was maybe like China. Now, we did have someone a while back that was in a country that was on the
We've had
border of
Poland.
China, to the south of China. We had that. Poland, yeah. Oh, yeah. Greenland,
Switzerland.
Europe, Australia, all over the world. If you're watching and you are in another country, put it in the comments where you're from. Robin's here.
Let
She
us
says
know
she's
what
in
kind
Florida.
of clown shows going on in your country.
Yeah, we really want to incorporate international
Everybody's clown
viewers.
show.
We literally we need to set up a place on the website where international viewers specifically can go in there and share what is going on where they're at. Ashley Styles in England. Nice, Ashley. Thank you for being here. And we would love to hear from you. If you go on the website, Ashley, there's a few different ways you can contact us. And we would love to have you as our eyes and ears over there, you know. And so, yeah, we would love to converse with you more because we know what we hear is going on here, the clown show here. We want to know what the clown show is over there, too, and how they differ and how they might match up. Stephen McGuire is in the house from Canada. New guy from Canada. Well, hey,
Andy
New is
Sings
awesome
from
because
Australia.
we don't see New here too often because we're a shadow band channel. So it's amazing that you even found us, buddy. And please follow us on looks like you're on Rumble. Follow us on there. And if you want to know other
hit that
platforms
thumbs
like
up.
YouTube, all the links are on the main TheSupernatural.Show website. And Andy Sings, yeah, Australia.
You see
Wow.
Ashley's message?
Very, very cool. Yep. It says, Ashley says, Roger that. Sir, guys, similar situation. They're talking about the digital ID rollout next week. Yep. The bio digital ID, I'm sure. And, yep, that's the kind of information that we would love to get from you on a little bit more of a regular basis. So if you're in Australia, like
And I
Andy
have a
is,
question.
or Ashley, or wherever you're at, Jacob from Denmark, nice. Or Jabab, excuse me, I said Jacob, it's Jabab, something like that, from Denmark. We want to build a relationship with you guys so that we all, because we're in the United States, okay? We know the show that they're putting on here. We need to know the show that's going on there as well. So please, after the show, visit the website and choose one of the
I
methods
have a
to communicate
question.
with us. Yeah.
Our UK viewers, I have seen some information right recently that you guys are being limited as to how much cash funds you can pull out of your accounts within a week. I've seen instances of reports, not saying they're true, this is why I'm asking, that you guys are only now being allowed to pull out a maximum of $200 cash a week to use. Is that true? Is there any basis in those rumors we're hearing on this side of the pond?
Yeah. We would like to hear that. All those details like that. I'm going to figure out a way. I know on the website, all of y'all guys, no matter where you're at, don't seem to have a problem getting to the website, TheSupernatural.Show, TheSupernatural.Show. And so since that's the case, because we can't just talk on the phone, they've got us kind of separated, even though there's no reason for it. There's also on the website, as a matter of fact, you're looking at the website right here, there are multiple areas where you can communicate. One, you can just go down here and click on where it says chat. There's a little orange thing down here. You can click on that and send us a message. Let us know how to get a hold of you some way. Okay. You can also sign up to be a member of the website as well. Okay. Sign up to be a member, and that definitely will help put us in contact with you. And you can go in here and go to contact us. There's more contact information there. There's a literal phone number for the website as well. And I don't think I have it on the homepage right now anymore. And I need to do that. It needs to be on the homepage. I don't have it right here. It's below the video. There is a number down there. It's 843 402 8827. So 843-402-8827. And if you dial that number, now I realize if you're in a different country, it may or may not be possible to dial that number. Our country code is 1. Imagine that, right? Our country code is 1. So it's like 1-843-402-8827. And that call will come directly to me during business hours. Okay. At nighttime, it's going to go to voicemail. You can try that. You can go to the contact page and find out some ways to contact us there. You can click on click on the chat down here in the lower right. Multiple ways you can communicate with us. So I want to build something for y'all guys. So I'm going to do that. Now, let's take a look at, let me mute this page, and it is muted so I can go there. Let's go to the Beyond the Veil page. I want to show y'all guys something real quick, and then we're going to get to talking about the September 23rd stuff. The Beyond the Veil page, currently, if you go there, as you can see live imagery of us. We're live on the website as well right now. Here very soon, I'm going to switch it, so all you're seeing is this window right here, okay? So it's not multiplying the windows, because that's not working very well. So I'm going to change it, so I'm going to fix that. And if you go below, you'll notice that there is now a chat box down here where you can chat. So when you go Beyond the Veil, like before the show, if you show up 30 minutes or so before the show, and I'm going to be trying to let y'all guys know what time we're going to be in Beyond the Veil. And it's not like the pre-show Beyond the Veil was that special. It's just us getting ready for the show, talking, hanging out. And but now y'all guys can talk to us, okay? Anon 9395 on Beyond the Veil says, does California count? It feels like a foreign country. Yeah, it is kind of like a foreign country, ain't it? Yep, no doubt. But we've got that there now going, guys, and we will be working to improve it. We're having to do it very carefully because we can't just, it's easy to go out and purchase these things, but we got a small budget, you know, so when it comes to stuff like that, it's called zero. Mention again, we've got the 2025 tinfoil hat contest going on. So you want to come on the website and go to the tinfoil hat contest and make yourself a tinfoil hat. We do have a few little prizes in there for you. We've got a Walking Liberty silver $50 from like 1940s. We've got a plaque that we're going to create for you and give you. And we've got a few other little cool little trinket things that we're going to send you, including a bottle of frankincense and olive oil. It's a little applicator on it and everything. It's like anointing oil, that kind of thing. And it's still sealed. It's brand new. It's just frankincense and olive oil mixed. And I've got a couple of different styles, as you can see here. A couple of different styles. I've even got a nasal applicator one here. But mainly, I think we're using, it's just fantastic oils to start with. Frankincense has been known for a long time to be a fantastic oil, along with olive oil. And yeah, you'll get one of those bottles along with the other things if you will participate in the contest. All you have to do is go there and click the RSVP, saying you're going to participate. And then you will see on the website too, there is a tinfoil hat contest group page where you can post photos of your tinfoil hats. Okay. And I actually
think I saw a couple of submissions come in. I just haven't gone through them yet.
Yeah, we need to start looking and start showing them by the next show. We need to try to get that done. Is that everything? Oh, of course, we still got the Angel Cruise going on that we're trying to make happen, because we can't go if y'all guys don't go. The way the travel industry works is if we can pull together a big enough group, we end up getting a free cabin, because there's no way, I don't see it happening anytime in the near future that I could afford to go on it. But if I can get a big enough group together, they give the organizer a free cabin, and it ends up not costing the people in the group a single extra dollar. They just get to go with us. So that's what we're trying to do. There's no secret magic to it of how we're trying to do it. Yeah, so there's that, and there's the chat again from the website itself in a full form. Look forward to y'all guys using Beyond the Veil. And in the very near future, Beyond the Veil, we're going to be doing exclusive shows on Beyond the Veil. So it won't be just a pre-show thing. It'll be more like this, an actual show, where we're going to be talking about, well, let's just say a few topics that you cannot talk on YouTube about. That's for sure. Because you don't want to make the juice mad. Because the juice will boil over out of its glass. And you don't want that. So, especially when you're playing with their toys, because that's who owns all this stuff. All right. So, now, let's get to the subject matter for today. And you may or may not, most of you are going to know that we've been talking about September 23rd and all the things that are going on, especially we've been talking about in the heavens and with, the moon doing strange stuff, the sun doing interesting stuff. I mean, what have we seen in the last 2 years since that eclipse? A lot of amazing stuff. Auroras worldwide, a comet that was naked eye that we could see, the first comet Atlas that appeared back in the early spring this year. Now we got another comet Atlas, and they're claiming they don't know what it is. Of course, I don't really listen to them very much, but they've got a story that they're telling, and there's a reason. There's a reason why they're telling this story. And so I have to look at it, because a lot of times they will, in their ways, tell the truth without telling you. And they won't show you. So you have to be looking. You have to pay attention. And so I try to do that. there was a new Starlink launch recently. Actually, excuse me, not Starlink. It was a SpaceX was launched recently, and it was a bit different. And we're going to take a look at what that was here in just a moment. I'm just activating some tabs here, and hopefully my computer don't go completely haywire, because I've been maxing out this PC that I use to run all this on, and I really, really, really need a new PC. Anybody out there build PCs? Help a literal brother out. I can get them online from a company that I really like, get what I need that would run everything 10 times better. Somewhere around $2,000, it looks like. I thought it was going to be more than that, but around $2,000. All right, let's see. This is the launch I was talking about. It's called NROL 48, the National Reconnaissance Office, something other, number 48. And it says, and it was launched by SpaceX about, I think it was about a week ago. Okay. And which I've got some information here on it. But when I look at their stuff and what they're doing, they use symbolism to communicate everything, good and bad. They use symbolism. And you notice this is what's called a patch. They supposedly designed these, and they make a bunch of different kinds. Like here's an actual image of a patch. And it's a launch patch that they create for different missions they're doing. Like this one was NROL 39, and it says, nothing is beyond our reach. And this was launching something up into the heavens that they claim they can keep floating up there, satellite. And this thing says, nothing is beyond our reach. Okay. And then here's another one. This is an actual image of a patch too. And it says, National Reconnaissance Office, Titan, IVB 30. And it also says NROL 16. And it just says, I owe success. That's what it looks like. I owe success. And it has what looks like a gorilla or a Bigfoot in a tropical location with a magic stick in his hand, or should we say, actually, I guess it's just a flag stick. And you got a pelican and a rocket launching and some suns rising. I mean, it can be difficult to discern exactly what they're saying, but they're saying something. It's like this. We've got another launch patch, and just basically it's talking about the rising of the phoenix. Everything below is burning down, yet they rise up out of the ashes and build back better, as you might remember Biden saying a lot. And here's another one. Keep it secret. SpaceX. Keep it secret, keep it safe. NRO. And of course, they've got the Lord of the Rings ring kind of thing here, imagery. And it sits inside of a magic circle, with a Vesica Pisces image and the ring coming through it. Now, I'm not going to try to sit here and just decode each one of these for you. Mainly more interested in this one, which they just launched recently. Strength in numbers. So what are all these other little blue orbs? Do those represent Starlink satellites?
The intelligence community says that they think, because it was a classified mission, they actually think that it was sending up one of the Orion Mentor series, the Signet satellites, which is a network of satellites to intercept communications regardless of where they're coming from.
Well, it does say strength in numbers. So it's either somehow connecting probably with the Starlink or related to that, or either they maybe have launched some kind of a group of tiny nano-sized or small cube-sized satellites, because that's how they roll. And but they launched this one just a few days ago, less than a week. And so it makes me wonder, okay, what's this new technology, this new magic? Because that's what technology is. It's magic. And so what is the capability this thing has? And of course, I don't know how it might relate to September 23rd, how it might relate to any time. But there's a reason why they put it up there. There's a reason. And most people just ignore it, because it's a lot funner to be ignorant, because ignorance is bliss. Unfortunately, I can't do that. I can't help.
But I do have to say ignorance was a little more bliss than some of this chaos that we know now.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely more.
It was so much more peaceful.
Yeah, it was.
Or at least what I thought was peaceful. It was peaceful to live with like charcoal in your eyes because you couldn't see.
Mm-hmm. Blinded. But the problem with being blinded is they are literally at war with the seed, trying to reset things. Great reset. And war with the seed. You may wonder why I say war with the seed. Well, I'll show you. Let's see here. What's the best way for me to do this? Probably not doing this, but I'll try it. I'm just adding more bandwidth here. Actually, bandwidth ain't my problem. It's processor capability. As you can see, it's slow to process it because I've got my PC maxed out. Come on. Give me a YouTube icon so that way I can click on it and open up a new one. Come on. Yeah, this is called, I don't have any threads left in my CPU. Okay, so let's go here. Let me go ahead and just take this to Google real quick away from YouTube. And let me pull up what I was going to show you. War with the seed. And this is how they work, whether you know it or believe it or not. Let's click on that image and see if it opens. That's not a very big one. Let's just try this one. It'll be good enough. Okay, so this is Operation. See here, it says warp. Okay, so the word war is part of the word warp. War. The word speed or the word seed is part of the word speed. You just remove the P and remove the P. So you remove the two P's and you have war seed. And you say, well, Daniel, that's a stretch. Okay, it may be a stretch, but the thing is the truth is they are at war with the seed. Now, I can't get into explaining who the they is, and I can't get into explaining why. Well, I can explain maybe some why, but there's too much censorship here on YouTube. Hence why we're trying to build and use Beyond the Veil, so that way we can speak. But until y'all guys continuously start working with us and going to Beyond the Veil on the website, until that point happens, we can't speak completely open. You can't. So, war with the seed. All right. Now, if you remember the story of the woman clothed in the sun, this is a Revelations, was it 9? I could pull it up. woman clothed in the sun with the moon at her feet, preparing to give birth. Okay. And when she does, there's a great dragon there, and the dragon is after the seed, after the child. And he pursues the woman. The child is snatched up to heaven, it says, but he pursues the woman because he wants to stop the spread of this seed. Hence, war seed. Okay, Operation War Seed. And there are a number of things within that same chapter that talks about the stars falling from the heaven. It talks about a dragon coming down to the earth. It talks about all these things that symbolically we basically have going on already. They're just going on in the heavens. And where was this story in Revelations depicted about? It was depicted in the heavens, using symbolism to describe what is being seen. Okay. And one of the things I came across the other day that really has stuck with me is about this comet. I think it's, let's see, is it this one? Swan. It's this one. This comet.
Hang on a second. I'm
they
sorry.
discovered.
Can I interrupt you?
Okay. Yeah.
I have a question. Go back to that 50 states thing you just had up. No, the last tab. You were showing the little flag of the 50 states.
Yeah.
One thing. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
I wanted to bring something up
about,
before we passed it. I'm sorry.
Back up here and see where it's at.
Oh, I thought you had them in order. My apologies. Right there.
Well, they're in order, but only I know the order.
Okay, look at that constellation of stars.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, they just had that. The 250 delegates that went from U.S. elected delegates that took a all expense paid trip. Any and everything they wanted was provided for them over there for a conference.
Mm-hmm.
This was the background banner during that, which is one of the things Charlie refused to go be a part of a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, my point is, you see the stars? The constellation, the outline of the stars there.
I see one there. I see
go
one
look
here.
At the picture I sent you 2 days ago. Go look at the picture I sent you 2 days ago. That's what we were seeing.
Have to fire Google chat, which causes it's adding more weight on my CPU.
No. You go and you go. I'll go find it. You proceed. I'm sorry. I just had to bring that up because I didn't want to miss it.
Actually, it's already up, so it won't add any. I'm looking for the image from the other day. And I don't see an image from the other day that has to do with that. I remember you sending one, but I think you sent it on the cell phone.
Yeah, it's probably text. I'm looking for it.
It was text, I think. Yep. That would have been text.
You can't mistake that.
It has the same star alignment kind of thing.
Everybody was posting pictures on TikTok at right before, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere, all over the country. This is what the moon and Venus and something other else looked like. I think it was Friday morning. I don't know. We only send like 3,000 texts a day.
Venus was right close to the moon, yeah, to the lower right. I remember seeing it, of course. Looking back at our text conversation to see if I see the image you sent.
I think it was in the group.
It was in the group. Oh, Lord.
I think it was in group.
Killing me.
Sorry. Y'all don't understand how many text messages we send. We have individual groups.
Got groups inside of groups inside of groups. And
that would be Friday morning at 8:33 a.m.
Okay.
Dave, give a big thumbs up right before I sent that. Yeah, guys, we have group messages of depending on what show you're on and
Would y'all
what your
guys
role is.
would y'all guys like to be notified by text of important things, like really, really important things, or notified when the show's going live, things like that? I've got the ability to do that kind of thing, but I can't find a free way to do it is the problem. I'm still looking through
Here, I
500
resent
texts
it
here.
like that. I know. Look, Friday morning, 8:33 is about time that I sent one, and then I sent another one.
Gosh, we send a lot of texts. I'm just looking at my phone
Go to
here.
your TikTok page. If you go to
What?
TikTok, I just resent them to you on TikTok.
And I got to open another browser.
No,
TikTok's heavy.
don't.
We can't do that right now.
No.
We're gonna blow up the
But
screen.
everybody,
keep opening more
if you
stuff
go
up.
back and look at what the sky looked like around the moon over the past couple of days, there are a bunch of remarkable pictures which look like the imagery on that right there, right about the time that it was actually going on.
Okay, so what does it mean though? What is the symbolism behind it? What does it mean? Okay, so it looks like
astrological.
Yeah, because we are talking about the stars. We're talking about the heavens and things going on, and they're showing you something here that now it says 50 states, one Israel. That's not what this means in the middle. This in the middle, this is what's called a sigil magic circle, okay? And you have a circle within a circle, okay? And then you have layers of imagery. Typically, the way they do this is it's layers of imagery. Let me see if I can give you a better example. Like the warp speed image. It's things laid on top of each other is how they do it. And it's all about showing you something. It's just a matter of whether you can figure it out. You know, these three stars here remind me of, and this is going to be a strange match, but it reminds me of when we were children. They would show us, remember it was called the Justice League, and it was like Superman and Wonder Woman and Aquaman and all of them, and it was the cartoons where, the superheroes were fighting all the villains and monsters. And of course, the monsters were always men inside of costumes. But, like you mentioned the other day, but they transition between the scenes for that show and for those shows with 3 starbursts coming at you. You remember that?
Yeah.
Do you?
I remember that, yeah.
When it's like their transition
Shooting
image
stars.
when they go, it's like 3 of them coming at you. And for whatever reason, I look at that's what it reminds me of. We got those 3 stars.
Star, yeah.
And then we've got 3 red stripes here. And you'd say, well, that's the things on the flag. Maybe. But even things on the flag don't mean what you think they do. The stripes like on the flag. This represents 3 stars coming, or should we say what they really are, which is 3 deities. 3 essence of 3 angels, likely of the fallen type, coming. Now, we just happen to have also at the same time all these comets in the heavens right now, which I was working towards here. Let's see. Let me go back over to where I was at. Where was that? Okay, here we go. This is Swan. Now, most of you, if this is new for you, I realize some things I talk about and say on here can cause you to have a knee-jerk reaction of Daniel's out of his mind or Daniel's crazy. What you've got to do, if you're willing, and you are on the Supernatural Show, you're here for a reason. You didn't come here to hear the same thing that everybody else is saying. And that's not what I'm going to give you. I will dare to say the things that I believe actually have more truth to it that other people won't speak, because they don't want to be seen as crazy. Because, you know, they want, it's like the saying I say, you've got to believe what they believe, and vice versa, or else you're considered crazy. So they discovered this comet that I'm talking about. We already know there's the 3-eye atlas, and 3-eye, matter of fact, that goes right back to that image again. How many stars were there? 3. Now that star is called 3-eye. An eye is a pillar. The letter I, it represents a pillar, and it can also represent other things as well. They also came out with a program here recently called the 3 Pillars, and it was related to AI. Yeah, and the gate, the Stargate program and stuff, I believe. Anyways, so discovered this thing on 11 September, supposedly coming out from behind the sun. Oh, boom, here comes another deity. Okay. If this thing is real, if it's up there and can be seen somehow, I don't know. They say you can. They got pictures up right here. Okay. They say it was discovered on the 11th of September. I find very curious. And then I read on down, and there's a spot down here. And I also found it interesting that the guy that they claim discovered it, what his name actually matches in the mathematical system that the controllers of this world, for the most part, use, which is called gematria. They encode everything in math, ones and zeros basically, but math in general. Okay. And his name, let's see, I think I have it right here. Or was it matched? Let's look at it again. There's the numbers as it matches up. Oh yeah, and I remember that it's numbers that it matches up were interesting, because the comet was discovered on 9/11, and his name is 1116, meaning upside down and backwards, basically, which is how they do things. They invert and turn things upside down. So the guy's name mathematically matches the discovery date of the comet that he supposedly discovered. Okay. Now, if we go down, we can look at all the different matches that match with him. But if we come down here, it matches like the world is a stage. And each one of these matches somehow, in some way, are related to this bigger subject, okay, that's going on. But it's sometimes hard to tell what that actual subject is, because you're just looking at a bunch of words that seem like they're not related, but they are in some way or another. So let's go back to, nope, that's not what I was wanting. This. Okay, so Vladimir Bezugli discovers this thing on 11 September. And I read down here, and I don't know if they've changed it. Guess we'll find out here in a second. It was discovered in Virgo, constellation of Virgo. Think about the Revelations, the story of the woman clothed in the sun. Of course, that's representative of Virgo, to the best of our ability to know. And this comet was discovered there and is still there. Now, every day right now when the sun rises, the sun itself is in Virgo. Today, during the day, if you were to go outside right now, and tomorrow, and the next day, especially tomorrow, the moon, well, actually today, tomorrow. Anyways, the point is the moon is also in Virgo. So if you look up at the sun outside, the moon's right there by it somewhere. Whether you can see it or not, it supposedly is there. Okay. And So we've got this comet that is discovered in Virgo as well. And we also know that 3i Atlas is also in Virgo. And we have another comet called C2025K1 Atlas that is also in Virgo. Okay. And it says it was discovered on May 24th. And these comets, and then supposedly there are 3 or 4 more other comets also that are inside of what they call our solar system. If you still think in that model method, you might say. But when I was looking and reading about this, it said that, talking about the comet and its tail, it's got a very, very long tail, about 2 degrees long, and it's in Virgo. And I read on down the last time, and again, they update this stuff, so I don't know if it's still here or not. But they literally said that the comet, and I might be able to show it on here, possibly, maybe, in its rotation as it's doing its thing, whatever's really going on. Okay, and here you go. You can see 3 of the comets right here. Okay, so you have Virgo. This is Virgo. There's the sun, and the moon is right there. So supposedly the sun or the moon is to the left and just below the sun right now. And just to the left of that is Comet Atlas, the C2025K1 Atlas. Then there's also C2025R2 Swan. And then right behind that is 3i Atlas. All 3 right there at Virgo's feet or delivery area, you might say. Okay. And are these comets really there? I don't know. I mean, we can't see it. We have to trust that, and trust is a hard word when you're talking about they. You have to trust what they're saying, that these things are actually up there. Now, I also noticed that Mars is right there as well. So Mars is in Virgo as well. And check out Mercury. Mercury is in Virgo. Wow, that's a lot. Let me back this out a little bit more, see what else we can see.
That's what I was telling you. That image in the sky the other day was just, it matched that flag. It was kind of crazy.
Well, it does kind of match. I mean, especially what's going on in Virgo right now. I mean, you've got the sun and the moon, Mercury, Mars, and 3 comets in Virgo. All of them in Virgo. That's pretty wild. Let's see if I look around. Here's Venus up over here to the right. So it's not in Virgo, but it's pretty close. Let's see if we can move around here, and hopefully we can find our way back. Just kind of looking to see what else we see that might be interesting to look at. Okay, here's one of the other comets. C2025 A6 Lemon, or Lemon, is right here. So you got this one, and then you got these 3, and this one that's K1 Swan, or R2 Swan, is the one that they're saying as it makes its pass, it's going to come very close to the Earth and possibly cause a meteor shower off of a comet that is actually there right now. Not one, you know how all meteor showers, they say, well, those came from comets of the past, like Comet Halley and all these kind of things. This one's actually supposedly there now, and we're going to run through its tail. To me, this seems like a setup that I've heard in movie scripts. And I also theorized it back about 6 months ago. that we would end up in a situation where there would be a comet that would, I mean, I literally, you could go back and look at the live show, but I literally spelled out what we've got going right here, right now, 6 months ago, before even 2 out of these 3 comets was even discovered. Literally is playing out. Look around just a little bit more. There's Jupiter. This is the horizon down here, this blue strip at the bottom, the horizon. Let's keep looking just to see what we see. And I know we're going to have to look up in a minute and see if there's anything up higher, because there supposedly is a couple of more comets around somewhere. But it's possible they're not showing on here for whatever reasons. There's another one right up there towards the top. I can get this thing to go up. There we go. So that one's called C2024 E1 Wurschos. WIERZCHOS is what that one is called. So here we have this other comet, and it is in, what is it in? Ophiuchus? Going into Ophiuchus? And let's see. Let me see if I've got an option down here that might help with some of this. Share the view, take a screenshot, settings, set observing location, reset time, search, and share, and help. Nope, it's not going to tell me. I think this is in Draco, right close to what's called Draco, or the dragon, which is interesting too. Because we've got in the iPet Goat video, there was the green television screen with the tail of a serpent that almost looks comet-like. That his name, according to Heliofont's website, is called Draco. Like Draco, dragon kind of word, you know. All right, we should be coming back around here where we were at. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so that comet. Okay, there we can see 3 of them there. So this one's should be, well, I don't know which way this one's moving, to be honest with you, because I haven't looked up its trajectory and where they're claiming it's going, that kind of thing. Well, let's look upwards if we can. If we can get it there. Here we go. All right, don't do that. Come on, show me the X so that way I can feel it. There's Leo up there above Virgo. Leo, the lion, the king, as they would call it. Come on, problem. Apparently, that's all we can see. Okay. So, this whole story, where I'm kind of working with this or going with this, is, let me see if I can take you there, is, well, one, they launched this, okay, along with all of the Starlink satellites. Starlink, to me, is saying something to do with linking things together, of course, like a fabric, kind of like in the Greek language, the bow, the rider of the white horse had a bow. Is the definition of that in Greek is the simplest of fabric. And of course, we know that they've launched rockets back at the beginning of the pandemic that had symbolism on it showing the white horse and the red horse. very clearly saying our time has come. All of this is important and tells a story. For one, it tells a story they want. They don't think people are going to be able to figure out. I mean, I think I must be the only person ever to talk about the fact that they created these mission patches that say our time has come, and they show the white horse and the red horse of the apocalypse, which I have explained in detail. I'm headed towards, let me get to where I'm going. I bore everybody to death. Okay, so here's the thought. Normally, their plans, things they're up to, they'll put in movies. For instance, like Little Shop of Horrors. The green purple eater. Kind of like, but she ain't green, I guess, but down in somewheres in South America or somewheres, there's this guy in Bolivia or something that's found this egg or something that they claim came out of fell from the sky, and now it's turned into this black spaghetti looking thing that's growing, and he's got it inside of a safe.
The black spaghetti monster.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's got it in a deep freezer now.
He's trying to freeze it, or has he just got it in there with some blocks on it? I think I've seen that.
He says he's got it in there with some blocks on it. I've seen some people stating that it looked like a painted potato. And then I've seen somebody that gave a chemical. It was like silicone and something other else, and they kind of replicated it. Not that I want to dismiss it altogether, but AI is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know with the guy that claimed he saw submarines in Myrtle Beach how that can end.
Yeah, how did that end anyways?
He come out and admitted he was lying. He wasn't lying. It was a joke. And in the bottom left-hand corner of the video, there was a hashtag. It said fake news.
Really?
And everybody believed it and took off running with it. So he just kept going with it. Because I think at first he actually thought that they realized it was a hoax. They did not.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you know anything about Myrtle Beach, me and you both have walked out into the water. And the water is not very deep. And you can go way out there, especially on low tide and even on high tide. But there's a huge lip in South and North Carolina. There's a huge lip, and it's shallow water, only about maybe at the most 20, 30 feet for miles going out into the ocean. A submarine cannot fit in that shallow of water. So for me, once I realized that how close to shore it was, because it was only it wasn't very far out at all. It was like submarines can't fit in our water down here. They would have to stay about, 100 miles out where it drops off into the Gulf Stream. So what I did, guys, I started looking at, and I'm kind of pulling them up here for you to see. I started looking at movies that showed a couple of different things, okay? Because they like to put their plans in movies and put it out ahead of time, sometimes way ahead of time. For instance, like the third movie ever made, it was a silent film. It was in black and white. It was in like 1905 or 08, right in there, the beginning, turn of the century. And it was called Aliens on the Moon. And that was the third movie ever made. That's what they decided to depict. And when you realize they've made thousands and thousands of movies and TV shows and whole series on television shows and all about aliens and stuff, it makes you start to realize that, for one, you're watching the television. Two, you're watching programming. Three, you're watching a cast. All these are witchcraft type terms. You're watching a cast, and they're broadcasting, and it goes on and on with that. But you start to realize that they're selling you something. They're selling you something slowly and purposely, but for a reason. So what I wanted to know was what movies in the past showed, let's see if I happen to have, didn't get a chance to get these, and to guarantee these are in the right order. But movies that had a couple of things. I wanted to see what movies had what looked like snow or ash, flaky stuff, falling from the sky. That they were depicting snow or ash or something like that falling from the sky. Part of my reasoning for that is, and I can't help it, I keep going back to it because there's been too much that's been right in there, and that's I Pet Goat. And I Pet Goat, in that animated movie that they put out, which has predicted, it showed the past and it predicted the future, and a whole lot of it has come true. But in it, everything always kind of looks like it's covered in snow or frozen. But the flakes, you never see them actually clarifying that they're snowflakes. It looks like just something like ash or something that looks kind of like that floating down throughout pretty much the whole video. And I've always wondered what that is and what it could represent, because it plays a major role in this animated movie, whatever you want to call it.
What about volcanic ash?
Yeah, that's it would fall into categories like volcanic ash. Now, they kind of show you one thing to make you kind of think it might be something. In the opening scene where the goat's in the box and he sticks his head out the box, starts spinning his head and everything, that's the beginning of I Pet Goat. And you can see the ash floating down. He's inside of Auschwitz, okay, or an Auschwitz type scene. And there's 6 lights that are shown in the heavens. And those 6 lights are the 6 planets, or possibly represent the 6 planets that are in the sky right now from sunset to sunrise tonight and tomorrow night. In the background, behind the goat's box, you can see smokestacks with smoke coming out of it. And of course, you're talking about Auschwitz. So what you're talking about is the flakes of ash from the burning of bodies could clearly be depicted as that. However, the whole video has this ash scene going on and imagery of ice, which can also represent the fracturing of the mind or different things. It's pretty complicated. But I don't think they're necessarily strictly making that character of flakes falling down throughout the whole thing just to depict ash of burning bodies from a incinerator that is depicted on the left-hand side of the box that the goat comes out of. On the left-hand side of it on the screen, you can see it way in the background. There's smokestacks with smoke coming out of them. I think it means something else, and I can't help, it keeps coming back to my mind over and over and over, that going back to the comet that they say is going to give us a meteor shower. Could it be a time that comes here in the near future where ash starts falling out of the sky? It would be something that would likely be worldwide. It would be kind of like, I think it was in Stranger Things, that show that most of us are familiar with. When the world was in the upside down kind of world, there was like this ash floating down. And then there's a couple of other movies that I remember, like, what was that one that we were talking about the other day? Yeah, it was called, Um, right. They might come to me in a minute, but I got a bunch more examples here. So I started putting a list together of all these different movies and stuff, and here I'll try to just show you some of them. Like, these are movies that either are depicting ash coming down or depicting a comet causing some type of issue, you might say, in the world, or depicting both a comet and ash falling. Okay. So, like, we've got When Worlds Collide in 1951, or from 1951. It says in early sci-fi film, when scientists discover an incoming star will soon wipe out Earth, and a chosen few try to build a spaceship to escape to a new world. Then you've got Ice Age, Collision Course, animated film, characters from Ice Age franchise must leave their home to save themselves from an impending asteroid strike instead of a comet. Which I don't believe for a second that there's giant rocks floating around in the heavens. It's much more supernatural than that. You know, talk about comets, and they're saying, oh, they're just snowballs, you know, with some rocks and dirt mixed in together. And yeah, right. And they're going to go around by a sun and keep on trucking. No, not happening. And that's just nonsense, in my opinion. Anybody else can have their own opinion. I'll respect that. But in my opinion, it's nonsense. Comets represent something way much more supernatural, in like the coming of a deity, the arrival or the showing of a deity. You could call it fallen angels. We've got in the intro to the show, we show the comet coming down from last spring, that first comet Atlas, and has all these little stars following it. And it just happens to be the case also that they're saying 3i Atlas has buddies with it, other light orbs following it. Okay. So then we had Dinosaur in 2000. Some kind of impact wipes out the dinosaurs. Okay. Don't have these in any specific order. Then there's Deep Impact. Okay, I imagine most of you remember that. And then Don't Look Up. Remember that one about a comet coming. Night of the Comet, 1984. Another comet coming. Life Force, about Halley's Comet and some kind of bad plot with it. Coherence from 2013. Comet passage triggers the story's events. One in 2014 called Comet, and using comet, there was comet imagery in there, of course. Comet in Mooning Land. Okay. I've never seen that one, so I have no clue. And then there's Comet Chase, which was, Moonins and the Comet Chase. Might have been two different ones. Then there's Super Comet, After the Impact, 2007. I mean, I know people like fantasy, but it's not just it's not just the fact that people like fantasy is why they make all these movies. And this is just a few. I got a bunch more, probably more than I'll torture you with to show you. When Worlds Collide in 1951. Actually, I think I mentioned that one. Then there was Tychus and Super Comet, 1998. The Day the Sky Exploded, 1958. See if I can zoom it in a little bit. Help y'all guys be able to see it. The Day the Sky Exploded. Dealing with space debris from like a comet exploded or something. Wrath, Japanese sci-fi, 1962, about a runaway celestial object on collision course. One called Meteor, 1979, a disaster from a meteor. Another one called Meteor, Path of Destruction, Meteor Storm, and Meteor Apocalypse. to go putting that apocalypse word with the meteor thing and the coming of something from the heavens. Then we've got melancholia, rogue planet / comet-like body on a collision course. And you've got another one down here, like out of Japan or something. Armageddon, 1998. Remember that one? Asteroid. Now, one that's really interesting, well, Little Shop of Horrors is extremely interesting because of they don't officially mention a comet exactly. What they mention is that one day soon, in a decade not too near from now, September 23rd, something's going to come from the heavens and get you. And then they start singing this song, and they're saying over and over about something coming out of the heavens, but they're occulting the language enough that your average viewer would never pick up on that they're delivering a message. And one of the lyrics of the song is also comma, comma, comma. They're saying, almost saying comet, but they're not saying it. And they're saying it's coming in September on the 23rd. I mean, I'm not saying tomorrow we're going to go outside or tomorrow night we're going to go outside and see a big, huge comet in the sky. I'm saying this is what they're saying and trying to make sense out of some of it. Another one that's very interesting is Maximum Overdrive from 1986. It says includes comet influence on some synopsises. Stephen King's film about objects coming to life often appears in Impact Films list. So in Maximum Overdrive, all of these vehicles, and I'm thinking like Tesla cars and other vehicles made after the 1980s that have CPUs in them. Okay? Or there's another acronym they use for it in a car, but they all have computers. Like most people think the newer car that they're driving that was made in, say, 2000 or 2005, anything after about 1990, you think you're driving that car. You're not. All you're doing is giving input when you're turning the steering wheel or hitting the brake pedal or changing the gears. You're not doing any of that. All you're doing is giving input, like with a joystick, same thing, to a computer system that's then telling the robot which way to turn the wheels, how fast to go, how quick to stop, all these things. You're not driving those cars. You're in a robot. So I don't know how far back this could account, but it just happens to be that this film was released in 1986. That is approximately the exact year when they started making the cars all have these like computer systems in them that did the driving for you so that you're not driving. Could they be so evil that they would have planned this? I don't know. I don't know that this is going to happen, but they sure played it out in that movie, Maximum Overdrive, the big trucks and everything just cranking up and driving around on its own like demon possessed. If nothing else, it makes for an interesting thought, right? All right, let's see what else we got. The Simpsons. You know how they like to predict things. Bart's Comet. So Simpsons, made at least one episode, probably multiple ones, about comets. Okay. Said Bart's Comet, season 6 episode was about Bart discovering a comet headed at Springfield. Okay. And I thought about going through and trying to pull a lot of these clips together and edit it up, but there's not time. You know, that takes a lot of time and a lot of work. And y'all guys can look these up for yourself too as well. Tales from the Dark Side called Comet Watch. Adventure Time, The Comet. Doctor Who, 1988, Silver Nemesis. Moonins. Here's some animated ones with animated movies with comet storylines. Comet and Moon and Land, which we mentioned. I guess this one was named Your Name. The comet is a pivotal plot device for the movie. And Adventure Time, which uses the catalyst of comets, apparently, in the movie, in the animated movies. Here is cosmic astrophysical dust or debris, non-comet, meaning there was dust or snow imagery or something falling from the skies. One was called Melancholy in 2011. There's not little dust, but atmospheric disturbances and visual debris effects as the rogue planet nears. Movie Knowing from 2009. Was that Jim Carrey, I think? Solar flares, an atmospheric sky, ash-like fallout is shown in some of the destruction scenes. I remember some of that. Another one called The Road, which I think I actually mentioned. It says the entire landscape is covered in gray ash/snow-like fallout after an unspecified cataclysm. These are supernatural/horror, bad snow or dust, I guess. Silent Hill, constant ash. This from 2006. Constant ash or ash-like snow falls over the ghost town. And they reference it to a coal mine fire, maybe. 30 days of night, snow and blood, but the snow setting itself becomes ominous in a supernatural vampiric sense. Vampiric as in like parasitic, maybe. 30 Days of Night from 2007. Matter of fact, the Revelations even talks about the mixing of blood and ash falling from the skies. Just remember that. Blood mixed with ash falling from the skies. Okay, and then Krampus or whatever. Magical snowstorm blankets a town in a dangerous way. Snowpiercer. Endless snow is lethal to life outside the train, caused by failed climate geoengineering. The Day After Tomorrow, blizzards, snow, or snowstorms create an apocalyptic frozen conditions. The Day After Tomorrow, which was based on the book The Coming Superstorm. It was written by Art Bell, if I remember correctly. Then I remember this one was called The Mist, 2007. There was this ash-like mist. Remember back, how many months ago has it been now, that people were recording the fog outside because it didn't look like fog? What was that about?
I actually saw some people in North Carolina that recorded some ash falling over the weekend.
Really?
I'll have to go back and look for them.
I think that would be something to look at.
I had a few other things on my mind this weekend, man.
I mean, how many things do we end up talking about in here that manifest and happen? Quite a bit. Especially if we go back some years. But even during the time you've been on the show, Roxy, we'll talk about something and it'll echo back, sometimes just in days, where it'll start manifesting. Even to talk about these comets coming in September. There was no comet supposed to be here in September 8 months ago. Now we got 7 or 6, but we got 3 in Virgo. But 7, 8 months ago when I did the show, there wasn't none, and they weren't even predicting any, but I did, and now here we are. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Those live shows are out there. You can still go back and look. I ain't making it up. The mist, that was this fog/mist or dust. It descended on this area, and out of it came these huge locust-like creatures. and people got trapped in a grocery store. The whole scene was basically filmed looking out the windows in a grocery store. Back when grocery stores actually had windows in them. Nowadays, the grocery stores look like prisons called Walmart. No
Kind
wonder
of like Vegas.
Huh?
Kind of like Vegas. They don't want you to see outside. They don't want you to know how long you've been in there. The longer you
Right.
stay, the more you're going to spend.
Yeah, that, and also, I've done shows on this 5-10 years ago, but most of the Walmarts are all connected. Not all. Some of the Walmarts are connected via underground tunnel systems that connect all over the country. And it is a fact. This isn't a matter of, does Daniel know what he's talking about? It is a fact that they exist. And they have railroad systems connecting that go into these underground systems. And Walmarts, if you look at them, most of them will have no windows, of course, made out of all this really thick, heavy-duty stone, like a prison. And you'll notice the way the entryway is made, it's very tight. It could be converted into a secure, very secure environment, very easy. And there's 2 gun turrets on top of each Walmart, with the towers already there. And if you go inside and try to find where those turrets are at, you can't get in that part of the building.
Well, you do know that's why the Intercoastal Waterway was built on the East Coast, right? So that if we were actually trying to back, hundreds of years ago or 100, whatever, I'm not even sure when it was built, but I do know that part of the reason behind the Intercoastal Waterway was so that if we were being attacked from sea, we could still have a water shipping lane of goods from north to south by only having to jut out into the ocean for a small time.
Right.
But this was built long before F-16 fighter jets.
Right.
Aerial attack was not that big of a threat when the Intercoastal Waterway was built. So it would only make sense that they would make the same type of military tunnels up underground. That would be the only thing that we would have true protection of, other than, subsonic, deep.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the Intercoastal Waterway is that had to be one massive project. That's like,
where'd the dirt go? Willie asked me that the other day. He said, "What they do with all the dirt?"
They sold it at Walmart.
I don't think they had Walmart when they built the Intercoastal Waterway.
They sold it to somebody, did something with it. After they went through it, made sure they got out everything that was worth anything, of course. Then they sold the dirt. You say, well, where did all this dirt for all these tunnels? If they're digging all these tunnels, Daniel, where's all the dirt go? They sell it at Walmart. Because they got tunnels coming to Walmart, and then you can go there and you can buy rock. You can go there and you can buy dirt and all these things. All of it's coming from the process of building those tunnels. Now, I ain't saying it's still coming from there, but it would not surprise me if I am that I'm not actually correct. So
the Intercoastal Waterway started early, or 1820-ish.
Really?
And
that early?
Yeah.
Wow.
In 1808 to 1825, first canals and improved rivers were built on the East Coast up in Chesapeake, Delaware area. Civil War, the Army Corps of Engineers improved certain waterways for military transport. Early 1900s up into the 30s, they tried to modernize the Intercoastal Waterway system to link rivers and bays. By the 50s, you could go from Boston to Brownsville, Texas. So in about 100 years, in different segments, they built it.
So the Intercoastal goes all the way to Texas. It crosses across Florida somewhere?
Yes, you can access rivers and stuff deep enough to channel a ship from Boston to Texas.
Yeah, I remember one time I seen in the Intercoastal, because it's not that big in some areas, but when you see a yacht go through that is almost just like massive, you're like, and it takes up most of the river or the waterway. You're like, oh, this thing is deep,
Well, and like down at Santee, you've got locks,
Hmm.
that they rise and lower the water to move ships along over shallow spots. But yeah, it was made
Right.
for commercial shipping and military logistics.
Yep.
But a lot of this was built, like I said, before we had F-16s and Warhogs and Blackhawks and a lot of aerial threat, so we thought. But underground makes sense now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they might be the Boring Company.
There's a reason why it's called the Boring Company by Elon,
Mhm.
right? He's
Mhm.
digging in the heavens, digging in the ground. He's everywhere. Okay, so if we look at some of the biblical and non-biblical writings about the subject of dust or snow-like stuff or something falling from the heavens, we can see some different things. Like one, Revelations 8 and 9, it talks about a third trumpet and describes a great star burning like a torch falling from heaven, giving it the name of wormwood, where it poisons all the waters, the rivers and the waters and stuff. Um, so something that it says that will come one day, something like a great star, like a burning torch falling from the sky. That'd trip out a few people. And Revelation 6:12 through 14 talks about the sixth seal, where there's a great earthquake. The sun turns black, the moon becomes like blood, and stars of heaven, meaning angels of heaven, fell to the earth as a fig tree drops its. And here it says late figs. That's not what the Bible says. That is wrong. It says where a fig tree drops its figs or its fruit prematurely, meaning they fell before they were ready. They shouldn't have been fallen. So, anyways, that's a. I didn't write that. Okay, so but that is incorrect. But great earthquake reminds me of my pet goat, where when it's all dark and those stars are all dancing around, and then there's the birth scene where there's this great earthquake, this climax with the birth scene, if you get what I'm saying. And then it says the sun turns to black and the moon becomes like blood, and these stars, aka angels, will fall from the heavens. I think we're already probably seeing some of this stuff playing out. But what the great earthquake is and when it will be, I don't know, but I hope it ain't tomorrow. Um, in Exodus, it talks about hail and rain, or excuse me, hail and fire, hail and fire rain upon Egypt during the plagues. Non-biblical and Jewish Christian Apocrypha, Enoch, stars, angels, which it says actually here. I didn't type that, but that is actually true. Stars, angels, cast down, fire and brimstone imagery, cosmic disturbances, and fiery rain. That to me would go right along with the concept of ash as well. If you've got this stuff like brimstone or anything like that coming out of the sky, you've obviously got ash as well and things like that. And where I kind of wonder if they're going with this storyline, where this may go is if something like this happened, but it wasn't something that just wiped everything out. It was just an event that happened. Would the story then be we got another invisible enemy, an invisible boogeyman that's killing us, so we need a savior? It's making people sick. It's an alien virus. It's something that came from this thing that we've never seen before, like Three-Eye Atlas, or this comet that they're saying is going to produce a meteor shower, or possibly is going to produce a meteor shower around, I think it was like November 5th or something like that. Estra, visions of fire raining from heaven, rivers turning to blood, cosmic upheaval. Again, fire raining from heaven. You could certainly get ash and things like that related to it. Apocalypse of Peter and Apocalypse of Thomas, descriptions of stars, aka angels, falling, fiery judgment, ash-covered lands. In Islamic prophecy, the Quran and Hadith, the Quran 77, 8 through 10, 81, 1 through 3, and 82, 1 through 2, stars extinguished or scattered, heavens split apart. Hadith literature, end times marked by smoke covering the earth, fire sweeping the earth, celestial disturbances. Ancient non-biblical prophecies and myths. Greco-Roman. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, but Cybele oracles, Jewish and Christian influenced Greco-Roman prophetic texts speak of stars falling, fire raining from heaven, world consumed in fire. Ovid's Metamorphosis, Greco-Roman myths. Plathons, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, fall like angels or stars likely, setting fire to the world, ash and fire raining down. Norse mythology, Ragnarok, stars vanish, the suns darken, fire giants sweep the world, ash and smoke cover everything. Because we got Mesoamerican, these are like myths and stuff like that. Aztec, Mayan prophecy cycles, comet sightings seen as omens of doom. Codices describe fire serpents in the sky preceding disaster. Some Mayan prophecy texts speak of falling ash and fire as signs of cartoon cycles. And I do feel like we are close to approximately to the end of a great cycle. And how it worked out that I'm here, I don't know. And you're here, I don't know. Hindu, the end of a Kali Yuga cycle. Stars fall, smoke and fire obscure the sun and moon, dust and ash cover the skies. So you have all these different myths and texts and scripture even that all talk about the same thing. We've got all these movies and comic books and everything depicting this kind of stuff. Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, a couple of things, descriptions of stars colliding, angels colliding, stars colliding, the world being purged by fire, ash, raining before renewal. And I do believe that scripture in the Bible says also that the world wouldn't be destroyed by water during this next cycle ending. It would be by fire. And that like 1/4 of the world would be destroyed. The Native American prophecies, like the Hopi Indians, talk about the blue star, the blue angel, Kachina, will appear heralding the purification, often interpreted as a comet or star sign. And we've done shows on a lot of this stuff. In case you're new here and don't know that, you can look back through all the live shows over the last 2.5 years. And of course, goes back 16 years for Logic Before Authority, although all the videos aren't there because I've been terminated 4 times. The Road 2009, though ambiguous about the cause, that it's grayish ash, darkened sun, and world without light. visually invoke Revelation 6. And I also ask it, because it wouldn't give me all the answers I wanted sometimes, and I ask it about films about Moses and Exodus. And I got a list back, like the 10 Commandments that had depicted Moses, and I'm trying to think of the actor that was in there, but I'm flipping my mind. But it depicted all the plagues that came upon Egypt during a period. The Prince of Egypt, 1998 DreamWorks animation, that was an animated version of it. Exodus, Gods and Kings from 2014. And it says a modern retelling of plagues depicted with dust, hail, blood, and atmospheric disturbances. And, many of you guys, if you believe a lot of what the Bible shows and depicts, even though we all know that somehow supernaturally some things have changed, like Mandela effect kind of stuff. It certainly depicts things get very hairy at a few different points. But I would encourage you, even when those days come, is to not be in fear. And you probably want to spend more time in prayer, but not be in fear. And you can only die once to start with when it comes to your earthly body. And we're not supposed to be afraid of death of our earthly body anyways. We're supposed to be afraid of he or whatever could take our soul. Let's see, this says apocalyptic revelation themed films set in biblical framework. The Omega Code in 1999 and 2001, depicting fallen stars, fire, and all that kind of stuff. Left Behind series about fulfilling of revelations, stars falling, wormwood, fire, judgment. 1921 and 1962, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So these are all just additional depictions and movies that they've made about this period of time that it appears that we're in. Now, this is a list of books. I'm not going to read them all here. I'll just show them. From 1826, The Last Man. 1839, Edgar Allan Poe. The Earth Passes Through a Comet's Tail. Edgar Allan Poe. The Conversation of Eros and Charmian, I guess. 1839, Earth Passes Through a Comet's Tail. Atmospheric changes, people suffocate and die. H.G. Wells, maybe I will read all these. H.G. Wells, The War of the Worlds from 1898. This is a book. Of course, this was turned into a movie later. Martian Black Smoke. Clouds.
That's the one they read on the radio and people actually thought it was happening.
It was freaked out, yeah. Clouds settle like dust, ash, killing those who breathe it. H.G. Wells, 1914, The World Set Free. Fire and radioactive ash linger after atomic explosions. Stephen King, The Stand, 1978. Superflu wipes out civilization. Described with dust, ash, field imagery of the collapse. And,
he's been in the forefront a lot lately with some of his words he has spoken.
Stephen King?
Yep. He's got some severe backlash. I'm not exactly sure what it was he said, but he said something because I've seen several people tearing him down.
Well, they got it. Probably pretty rich. They can keep got quite a bit of tearing to do. Unless they physically tear him down, which I wouldn't encourage violence against even my enemy. And then these were some that were related to some of this same kind of topic, like World War Z with a zombie type rollout of things, and it had ash filled skies in it. The Rising from 2003, triggered by supernatural events, apocalyptic ash and dust described in the air. The Passage trilogy, a viral apocalypse described with ash and dust like post-collapse landscapes. I Am Legend from 1954, a vampire plague in a dust and ash ruined city. This might be interesting too. This is H.P. Lovecraft. The color out of space, meteor dust contaminates land and water, causes sickness, death, and mutations. 1927, and they love their H.P. Lovecraft. Meteor dust contaminates land and water, causes sickness, death, and mutations. That's like,
Hang on a second.
I might as well be saying comet dust or a comet meteor shower. Meteor, what is a meteor shower? It's meteor dust, according to their story and depictions, right?
Hang on, there's something Lovecraft that's it's got something to do with the property that he set up. You know how things click in my brain and all of a sudden I take off?
Yeah. Well, you keep clicking, figure it out, let me know. H.P. Lovecraft, The Shadow over Innsmouth, 1931. A mist or sea spray rather than ash, but similar. H.P. Lovecraft and August Derleth, The Lurker at the Threshold, 1945. Cosmic dust and ash tied to otherworldly corruption. So H.P. Lovecraft is into his cosmic dust and ash, obviously. And then Stephen King, 1980. Supernatural fog, not ash, but similar. Supernatural fog. Makes you wonder. I mean, because we've already seen this fog thing come around one time and people were tripping over it pretty good. And we've had all the parking lots full of cars and the lights in the parking lots and entire cities, literally, even video from airplanes of entire cities with all the lights flashing. All this weird stuff going on. It's easy to say we can discredit any and all of what we're talking about here. But I think we would be being foolish. George R.R. Martin, Song of Ice and Fire, a long night, scribes snows, ash that blot out the sun, bringing famine and death. That's kind of like pale horse kind of imagery, that kind of thing. Yeah. So that is kind of, it's not a extensive list of all the stuff, obviously, but that should give you a good idea of that there is a lot of imagery of this kind of thing. And like in this video I was talking about here, it's very easy to see what we're talking about with the dust and everything falling in this. This is the animated short film called I Pet Goat. See the dust falling? It's throughout the whole series of the video. Matter of fact, let's go back to the beginning and I'll show you the smokestacks. Again, the ash falling looks like ash or snow or something like that. And right back there. There you go. You can see smokestacks back here. with what looks like smoke coming out. And this is like a setting for Auschwitz, which is like a prison. You're doing time. But this is not about a prison or even Auschwitz in a traditional kind of way. This is all about symbolism, and everything you see means something. The way the goat spins his head clockwise, or excuse me, counterclockwise. Personally, I think it has something to do like with time, something. It's hard to explain some of these things. Yeah, the whole video is showing this kind of stuff. Here's kind of like what you were talking about too, Roxy. Look at this. Let me back it up.
I'm with you.
There we are, right there. There's your moon sliver with a star beside it, real close.
Yep, on its
See it?
cheek. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's also the sign that is on the Islamic flag. And if I'm
like
saying that incorrectly,
teeth there, don't it?
yeah, a little bit. Well, he is parasite. He's Barack Obama. I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. What was I going to say before you said vampire teeth? Oh, the flag in the Middle East, in Islamic cultures, they have this flag that has the crescent moon on it, and it has that little star on it. Matter of fact, it's on top of the giant clock in Mecca. You know what I'm talking about? And see, this just happens to be what's in the skies right now. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
It's like a sickle and a star.
Mm-hmm. Mecca. Clock. And let's go over here to size and see if we can't get a large image. What position, when you seen the moon last, Roxy, was it in? Do you remember?
I think it was down. Like the crescent was at the bottom.
At any of these images, really? Was it sitting on its back? Not back. It wasn't sitting on its back, was it?
I think so.
Like that?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, no.
I'm on it. I'm
really?
going to look. I don't know.
I mean, the moon's out right now.
Pictures.
But you can't, like right now, unless you caught it a day or so ago, right before the sun was coming up or going down, you won't be able to see the moon. Like today, we can't see the moon because it's up there right by the sun. Tomorrow, we won't be able to see it because it's up there right by the sun. Like we talked about earlier, and I showed everyone. But you have this symbolism, and you also have the flag imagery. Let's see if I can find it. And here's a kind of a somewhat appropriate image. It's kind of small, but still see it. It's showing you. I haven't taken giving you an example
of the moon recently.
It's hard to catch it right now because of the timing. Let's look for a flag. Not the flag I'm looking for there. Okay, let's just
It
change
says
it up.
today's moon phase is a waxing crescent with only 1% illumination.
Right. Yeah, this is the new moon. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. This flag, you know, with the crescent moon and a star. Well, how close is Venus supposed to be to the moon tonight? I mean, I guess I could look on some of the stuff I have pulled up here. Let's see if I can possibly use this to be able to see. Of course, here's Virgo. There's all three of those comets in Virgo. The moon in Virgo. And the sun in Virgo. And Mars in Virgo. And this is now. This is like today. Let's see, can I adjust the time? I don't know if I can adjust the time on this one. I'd use a different type of map.
Okay. As of Monday, September 22nd, Venus and the moon are not in close proximity in the night sky. Venus is currently located in the eastern sky before sunrise, while the moon is waxing and is visible in the west shortly after sunset. However, earlier this month, on the morning of Friday, September 19th, the morning I sent you all the crazy pictures, a rare celestial event occurred when the crescent moon, Venus, and the brighter star Regulus aligned closely in the eastern sky just before sunrise. This triple conjunction was a stunning sight, with all three bodies within a half degree of each other, less than the width of your little finger held
When
at
was
arm's
this?
length. Venus shining very brightly. This was
When was
Friday
this?
morning. That's the pictures I was sending. Friday morning,
Right, I'm
19th.
pulling it up on the screen here. 19th. As soon as it'll
It's
let
just
me.
before sunrise.
Just before sunrise.
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. Button.
And it didn't last long.
Okay. Oh, there we go, right here. You said it's Regulus? Why is Polarium showing it as being Venus? Oh, Regulus is there too. But Venus is also there. You see it here?
Regulus, Venus, and the moon. Yeah. That's what I'm telling you.
And the moon, all
That
three of
flag
them.
I stopped you before earlier. Yeah. Go back and look at that flag. I'm
So
telling you.
So you meant
It
you've seen
triggered
all
something
three
when I
of them
saw
in the
that flag.
line? Oh, and look,
Yes,
the
all
moon
three
is
of them are visible.
illuminated on the bottom. And the moon is illuminated on the
I
bottom.
told you the
like
moon was on its
devil
back.
horns.
It was on its back.
You didn't act like you
Telling
knew
you,
for
it's
sure.
scary looking.
So I had to
I told you a
verify.
while ago, I don't want to say I'm sure unless I can go back and look at the image. I can't find the image. I
Well,
sent you a
here
copy
is
of it through TikTok
this.
of some other people's.
This is
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It was freaky looking.
9:19, right before sunrise. You got the moon on its back, Venus and Regulus all right there together.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh.
It was wild looking. Like people
Pretty
all over
interesting.
TikTok were like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Right?
Because I bought a telescope.
It
And
would
it's a piece
about
of
look
junk.
like,
It don't
because
work.
Venus would have been really bright.
It looked like that flag you
And
showed
the
a while
moon,
ago.
yeah. But remember how some people were saying, what am I seeing? Am I seeing two moons or what am I seeing? Venus would have been big and bright because there was
Venus and
no
Regulus.
moonlight. And all you had was just a little sliver of the moon. So let's see what the moon does if we move forward in
One of
dates
them
here a couple days.
disappears.
Well, the moon's probably going to completely disappear
Yep.
here as well. Let's see here. Let's find where the moon is at. Oh, it's down here at the bottom.
Hey, Truth Co-op.
So if let's move forward a little bit of time. So this is 20th. Let's go to the 21st. Come on. Do your job.
I'm gonna have to start yelling at you evidently when I send you things and I don't get a response. Because
Well,
sometimes
there
I
is
don't be
that.
knowing if I'm if I'm making too much of something. I don't want to get overly excited. If I don't have, I didn't have the astrological knowledge to know what it was, and I was not at home by my PC, so didn't have anything but a
All right.
cell phone. I have lost chat for some reason.
So this is today. Oh, that's tomorrow. Let's go more. Let's go. That was yesterday. Let's go one more day forward. And you've got the sun and the moon. Let's turn off the landscape so we can see where everything's at a little bit better.
He's fixing to make this announcement today.
The moon's down here. Let's move forward in the day. Who's making an announcement?
President.
There's the moon and the sun. This is today.
He's going to tell us what causes autism.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to hear that. They're going to admit to it and then take the blame for it? Nope.
Nope. They're going to admit
'Cause
what
if
it
they
is and
admitted to
point
the
the finger at
truth,
somebody else. That's how this game's played.
Yeah. They go, this is how it happened, and he knew about it. We didn't know nothing. We're just dumb presidents. Let's see, 8:26. So we're early morning. This is today. Let's go ahead and move forward in time a little bit. We can add our atmosphere back so it doesn't look quite so crazy. And 9 o'clock. Following the sun and moon and Mercury. And see, in this same area, see the sun in that image right there. That's today. But this is also in Virgo. Virgo is here. Let me turn it on so you can see it. See, there's Virgo. Okay. And so the sun, moon, Mercury, and Venus is above in Leo. And you got those 3 comets are right in this area right here. We turn on the constellation art. The 3 comets are right down here close to the birthing area, which I can't help but see. That's approximately where they're located. And look at the hours on here again. So that was at 12:30 today. Let's come forward a little bit more. 12:30. Come on. You can do it. I'm just about maxed out. CPU is like thinking, oh, please don't ask me to do nothing else. Maybe one day I'll find a way to get a new PC. A proper one for running the Supernatural show. Okay. Moon, sun. This is 14. That's 2. That's 3 o'clock. Time is it now? Let's see. It's 4:28. Let's go 4. So that's basically right now.
That's unique, Mike.
If you notice, just to the left, you have Sagittarius and you have Scorpio right here. Sagittarius, Scorpio. And you have Ophilis, which is, or how you pronounce it, is the man wrapped in a serpent, has the serpent in his hands. And right in between where, put it this way, this scene is the same scene that is at the end of iPad Goat, the iPad Goat video. It has, but it has the sun, for whatever reason, coming up like right here. Where did the sun come up at? Well, let's see, this is the southeast. Well, that would be approximately where the sun came up at. Just later in the day, depicted now. Okay. Let's see. We're back the hours. Let's go to the 23rd tomorrow. Go and get to the actual day. Now let's back down to the morning time. See what the scene looks like. Okay, so you got Virgo coming up. The sun's in Virgo over here on the left. You got Mercury and the comets that are with it rising. Let's go back down all the way to sunset right there. Okay. Rising. Nine 30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30. Here goes your Scorpio or Scorpius and Sagittarius. It's so much to try to figure out in your brain. It's obviously overwhelming. Obviously overwhelming.
All of it has so many pieces. That's why we'll never know when it's coming. All you can do is be prepared.
Right? Yep. No doubt about it. And being prepared doesn't necessarily exclusively mean, be like a prepper. Yeah, that is a component. You need to prepare
You
for
need to
whatever
prep your
ride
soul.
that we have while we're here, because you want to take care of your family, but even more importantly, you want to be prepared so that you, like Roxy just said, you don't want your soul being left behind or cast down, whatever words you want to call it, you might say. But I think
Just the
that
time
we
notice
have
for 2.5 hours.
officially, wow. Okay, well, we're about done. However, before we're done, I would like to go back and point out the website. Okay. If you're new here, which I know there's quite a few people here, if you're new here, TheSupernatural.Show is our website. You can find information on all of us, the Supernatural team, our schedule of when we broadcast and who's broadcasting when and all that, because we are on air 7 days a week right now. 2 days are premieres and 5 days are lives. And we would love to have you come and become part of our team. And we will continue to build the website to help everyone involved. Remember, there is the Beyond the Veil where you can come to and watch us during the pre-show before we go live. We normally are in the Beyond the Veil area. And there now is chat in the Beyond the Veil area. And when you go into Beyond the Veil, and luckily I have the sound muted, so I'm not going to rip everything out. You can see that we're live in Beyond the Veil right now. And we also, as you can see, have live chat in Beyond the Veil right now functioning. And if you come down here, you'll notice something called Beyond the Veil Roundtable of Knowledge. And you can click on this and go to the full page if you want to. And it'll give you more information about it. An area where you can come and you can do research. This is a research room, basically, your conversation room, round table of knowledge. Okay. And you can come in here, join in by clicking on this image right here, or join room me, this right in here. There's a password of 555. You don't need any headphones or anything like that. And you can go hang out with anybody you want here. If you know somebody that's in Japan and you want to hang out with them, you can do it in here. Okay. And like I say, you do not need headphones for this. And there's more information about it down here and all that. But you have to realize that when you're in here, that other members of the Supernatural.Show website, and it's for members only, can come in and maybe join the conversation with you. They can also sit back and just listen to you and consider what you're saying, or they might just pop in and join you. This is, it's kind of new, the concept of speaking about things and maybe others that you don't know joining you. But the only people that are going to be joining are people that are members of this website, okay? There's nobody going to be joining you that's a complete stranger. They're already joining you because you got things in common. And you're not going to be divided like trying to talk to somebody on the street, okay? And again, don't forget that we have the Angel Cruise still going on. Go check that out. We've got the tinfoil hat contest still going on. Go check that out. Matter of fact, just come and check out the website.
Hey, we've had a couple asking about donations or buy me a coffee. There, down below the video, there are several different ways to donate. If you go down and look at the description, there's all kind of different ways if you want to donate. Because, guys, we do not have sponsors. We refuse to sell out to people. If anybody approaches us and the first thing they want to do is talk about an NDA, we don't need to have a discussion.
No.
Because that means there's something to hide. So
Yep.
We don't have sponsors. This is us out of our pocket doing the best we can to bring you the absolute truth that we can find.
Closest we can possibly do is to bring the truth. We got contacted by Pepsi and Red Bull recently, and we turned them down because they got NDAs and they got things they want you to do that I'm not willing to do. I'm not willing to promote a product that ain't good for you. I'm not perfect in my life. I might even have a Coke or something other, which is very, very rare. Can't remember the last time I had one, but I might. I'm not perfect, but I'm not going to stand here and promote something knowingly that I know ain't good for people. And everybody here agrees we're not going to sell out.
No, I will do without before I let somebody like that pull my strings. It's just not happening.
And if you go on the website too, you can look below the videos for the links that are to like PayPal, CashApp, all that, Venmo. You also have
a really cool
Zelle.
merch store.
Huh?
And we have a really cool merch store on there.
Well, we're working on it. But Zelle, CashApp, Venmo, all that. And there's also an address on here where you can just put a letter in the mail if you want to. Okay? Or even just a letter. It don't have to be a donation. If you want to write me. I promise you I will read it, every word. And depending on the situation, I may even respond, depending on what it is. And if I did, I'd probably respond in a letter. But I'll always read the letters. And if you don't have like Cash App and Venmo and you don't want to use, mail, you can use these direct links right here. If you want to do a $5 donation, you click on that $5 donation. And it'll bring up this, as you'll see here in a second. And all you have to have is any kind of a debit card. And I'm not going to say credit card because I don't want you financing the gift to me. But a debit card, okay? So you can come here and you plug in your information, and then and go to the next screen, and it'll ask you for your card information. Simple as that. It's all built right into the website, and works perfectly. And I received these within 24 hours, like CashApp and PayPal. That's instant, of course. And then another way you can help is by simply joining the website as a member. That way you're donating a little bit each month. You get access to all the information that's on the website. If you're not interested in the website at all for some reason, you can still sign up to donate like $10 a month or any amount that you want to come up with, because you can choose other, and donate that on a monthly or weekly basis. So yeah, we do appreciate your support, and we greatly need it. Today, when the show started, I didn't know if I was going to have electricity to be able to do the show. Luckily, it worked out. But I was already having to text around asking to borrow $10 so I can put it on my prepaid electric. It's that tight a lot throughout the month. But Father always makes a way, and it always comes through you guys. But sponsored by Father, I guarantee you. He puts it upon your heart. So
Tomorrow night's show will be about 7 o'clock on the Roxy Files.
About 7 o'clock tomorrow, Roxy Files.
Yep. Mary Magdalene, where did she go?
Oh, wow. That should be an interesting story. I know we've talked about it a little bit. It should be very interesting.
It's probably going to be a multi-part, but we're going to go through. Tomorrow's going to be more about physical locations after resurrection and historical things that show when and where people were after that.
Got to show you something that's directly related to that real quick, so you can consider it. Let's go right back to I Pick Goat. Okay. I had one already loaded. I don't know why I'm loading another one. Okay, there's a scene in I Pick Goat. It shows, remember I was talking to you about the clamshells and the trail that was left of these clamshells, so people would. Let's let this commercial get by, and I'll move to that scene so you can see what it depicts. It's more about just knowing it's there so you can ponder it. You paused. All right.
If you have time, I know tomorrow is your off-air day, but if you have time in the morning, there's a couple of points I would like to discuss over and pick your brain, but not a big thing tonight because I'm going to be out of pocket.
Okay. All right. So you see this scene?
I can't see nothing except.
Oh, sorry. Duh. You see this scene here?
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to decode what this scene means, but I'm going to show you that this image of the child that's dead and it's looking like a black, almost, I don't know what it is for sure. This is one of the scenes that has eluded me a little bit, but it's obviously depicting a very destructive moment. And it seems to be in some way related to possibly, we know this is related to Christ, Antichrist, this kind of stuff, but you see this, the clamshell she's sitting in?
Uh-huh.
See that? She's sitting in a large clamshell for some reason. And there's a meaning to the clamshell as to why they use them as the item to leave a trail where Christ went on his travels, and maybe even Mary Magdalene. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So with that being
Just
said,
remind me, when we get to have the conversation, it's about being 30 years old. I'll tell you about it later. It's long.
All right. Well, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much for showing up, hanging around, spending the time to explore these things that we're exploring, to consider what really may be going on. I mean, we only got, 1 day for tomorrow to be here for the 23rd. So we shall see. But I encourage you to walk fearlessly and don't allow other people's fear and flocking like a flock of sheep. Don't allow that to make you make a mistake. Make your own choices. Don't follow the sheep. And it may have nothing to do with tomorrow, but there's going to come a time. We've seen what the sheep did back in 2020, what they did. They all ran, got in line, didn't they? They all did the hokey pokey, didn't they? Don't follow others. Make your own decisions. Thank you, Roxy, for being here. Thank you, Miss Kim. Thank you, Super Dave, Super Mike. Thank you, what's her name? Georgia?
Georgia?
In the comments.
Mama Rages,
Mama
Carol.
Rages. And there's one that's also called Georgia something.
Yeah, Georgia's, I don't know if Georgia's here today or not.
It was it was a female, I think. Anyways, thank you all for being here. And
thank you, Wayne. I just saw that email come through. Thank you.
All right. We love you. And I'll see you on Wednesday by myself. Old school Logic Before Authority on Wednesdays. Mondays and Fridays, the whole gang's together. Wednesdays, it's just me. Tuesdays is Roxy. Thursdays, maybe Shannon. Although any and all of us have the ability, if we decide to go live 10 minutes from now, we can. So,
as well as Super Dave. You got to look out for Super Dave.
Yeah,
He be going
Super
live
Dave.
All the time. Curious Georgia. There you go, Super Dave. Thank you.
There we go. Yeah, I think Super Dave was live earlier. I don't know that he's going live again. But yeah, definitely check out Super Dave 44 on YouTube as well. He does he's got quite the dedication in helping us out here, so we don't have any problem in letting y'all guys know about Super Dave 44. And matter of fact, come to any and all of you. We'd love to help any of you in any way we can to get our whole group going around and have places we can all go to hang out. With that being said, I love you, and we'll see you next time here on the Supernatural Show. Bye-bye for now.